Saying no is not bad. Many people believe that saying no is rude, selfish, or disrespectful. Because of this belief, they say yes even when they are tired, stressed, or uncomfortable. Slowly, this habit creates pressure inside the mind. You feel overloaded. You feel used. You feel that your time and energy are not valued. The truth is simple. Saying no is not bad. It is a healthy boundary. It is a sign of self-respect. It is a decision to protect your time, focus, and mental peace. First, understand this clearly. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. Time is limited. Energy is limited. If you give your time to unnecessary tasks, you lose time for important goals. If you always help others but ignore your own responsibilities, your progress becomes slow. Saying no is not rejection of people. It is selection of priorities. It shows that you know what matters most in your life. Many people fear that others will feel hurt. They worry that relationships will break. But strong relationships are built on honesty, not on forced agreement. When you say yes without meaning it, you create hidden frustration. That frustration slowly damages the relationship. Clear communication builds respect. When you say no politely and clearly, people understand your limits. In fact, they respect you more because you are honest. Saying no also protects your mental health. When you agree to everything, your mind remains busy all the time. You move from one task to another without rest. This leads to stress and burnout. Your body becomes tired. Your mood becomes unstable. Your productivity decreases. But when you learn to say no, you create space. Space for rest. Space for focus. Space for better performance. You become more balanced and peaceful. Another important point is self-discipline. Many times, we say yes because we want to please others. We want approval. We want to look helpful. But discipline means choosing long-term growth over short-term praise. If your goal is to improve your skills, build a career, or develop yourself, you must protect your time. Saying no to distractions is necessary. It is not selfish. It is responsible behavior. Sometimes saying no feels uncomfortable in the beginning. You may feel guilty. You may feel nervous. But discomfort does not mean wrong. Growth often feels uncomfortable at first. When you start setting boundaries, people who benefited from your constant yes may react negatively. That does not mean you are wrong. It means they were comfortable with your lack of boundaries. Stay calm. Stay respectful. But stay firm. It is also important to understand that saying no does not require anger or harsh words. You can say no politely. You can say, I am not available right now. You can say, I need to focus on my work. You can say, I cannot commit to this. Simple and clear words are enough. You do not need long explanations. You do not need to defend your decision too much. A confident and calm tone is powerful. Saying no helps you build self-confidence. Every time you protect your boundary, your mind learns that your needs matter. You stop ignoring yourself. You stop sacrificing your goals for temporary comfort. Slowly, your confidence grows. You start making decisions based on logic, not fear. You begin to live intentionally instead of reactively. In professional life, saying no is especially important. If you accept every task without thinking, your workload becomes unrealistic. Quality decreases. Mistakes increase. Instead, choose carefully. If something is not aligned with your role or capacity, communicate clearly. This shows maturity and clarity. Good leaders respect people who manage their time wisely. In personal life, saying no protects emotional energy. Not every invitation needs acceptance. Not every argument needs participation. Not every request needs approval. You have the right to choose where your energy goes. When you say no to unnecessary drama, you say yes to peace. When you say no to toxic behavior, you say yes to self-respect. However, balance is important. Saying no to everything is not healthy either. The purpose is not to isolate yourself. The purpose is to be conscious. Say yes to growth, learning, and meaningful relationships. Say no to pressure, guilt, and distractions. Make decisions based on values, not fear. Remember this clearly: people who respect you will respect your no. People who only value you when you say yes are not respecting you, they are using your compliance. Your time is valuable. Your focus is valuable. Your peace is valuable. Protect them wisely. If you struggle to say no, start small. Practice in low-risk situations. Notice how your body feels when you agree to something you do not want. Notice the tension. Then try responding honestly next time. With practice, it becomes easier. Confidence grows through action, not thinking. Saying no is not about rejecting people. It is about accepting yourself. It is about understanding your limits and honoring them. It is about choosing discipline over guilt and clarity over confusion. When you master this skill, your life becomes organized, focused, and peaceful. In the end, success is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things consistently. And sometimes, the most powerful word for success is a simple, calm, and confident no. 1. Protects your time and energy. Saying no is a powerful way to protect your time and energy. Time is limited for everyone. You have only 24 hours in a day, and once time passes, it never returns. When you say yes to every request, invitation, or responsibility, your schedule becomes full very quickly. At first, it may feel productive. You may feel useful and needed. But slowly, pressure increases. Your important tasks remain unfinished. Your personal goals get delayed. You feel tired, yet your work is incomplete. This happens because you did not protect your time carefully. Every yes has a cost. When you say yes to something unnecessary, you are automatically saying no to something important. For example, if you agree to attend an event that does not add value to your growth, you may lose study time, rest time, or planning time. Energy is also limited. Your mind and body cannot perform at their best when overloaded. Continuous commitments reduce your focus and creativity. You may start making mistakes because your attention is divided. Learning to say no helps you choose priorities wisely. It forces you to think before committing. You begin to ask yourself, is this important? Does this align with my goals? Do I truly have the time and energy for this? These questions improve decision-making. When you decline unnecessary tasks, you create space for meaningful work. That space allows deep focus. Deep focus produces better results. Protecting your time is not selfish. It is responsible behavior. If you are always exhausted, you cannot serve others properly either. Balanced energy allows consistent performance. Successful people understand this clearly. They do not accept everything. They select carefully. They know that protecting time is equal to protecting success. At first, saying no may feel uncomfortable. You may fear disappointing others. But temporary discomfort is better than long-term stress. When you respect your time, others eventually learn to respect it too. Time management does not begin with planning tools. It begins with clear boundaries. Saying no is one of the strongest boundaries you can create for a focused and peaceful life. 2. Build self-respect and inner confidence. Saying no plays an important role in building self-respect and inner confidence. When you constantly say yes to everything, especially to please others, you slowly begin to ignore your own needs. You may agree to tasks you do not want to do. You may accept responsibilities that exhaust you. You may stay silent even when you feel uncomfortable. Over time, this behavior creates inner dissatisfaction. You start feeling that your opinions and limits do not matter. This weakens self-respect. Self-respect means valuing your time, energy, emotions, and priorities. It means understanding that your needs are just as important as others' needs. When you say no to something that does not align with your values or capacity, you are honoring yourself. You are sending a clear message to your mind that your boundaries matter. This strengthens your inner stability. Many people struggle to say no because they want approval. They want to be seen as helpful, kind, or supportive. While kindness is important, constant approval seeking can become harmful. If your decisions are based only on others' expectations, you lose control of your own life. Confidence grows when your decisions are based on logic and self-awareness, not fear of rejection. Every time you say no respectfully, your confidence increases. You learn that disagreement does not destroy relationships. You learn that your voice has value. This reduces anxiety in future situations. You stop overthinking simple decisions. You stop feeling guilty for protecting your space. Confidence is not about being loud or aggressive. It is about being clear and firm without anger. At the beginning, setting boundaries may feel uncomfortable. People who are used to your constant yes may react negatively. But their reaction does not define your correctness. Growth often feels uncomfortable. Over time, as you remain consistent, others adjust. They begin to understand your limits. Strong self-respect leads to stronger personality. When you respect yourself, you make better choices. You avoid unnecessary pressure. You protect your goals. Saying no is not an act of rejection. It is an act of self-acceptance. When you value yourself, your confidence becomes stable and your decisions become stronger. 3. Reduces stress and protects mental health. Saying no is necessary for protecting your mental health. When you agree to every request, your mind stays under constant pressure. You move from one responsibility to another without proper rest. At first, you may feel active and productive. But slowly, stress begins to increase. Your thoughts become crowded. You start worrying about deadlines, expectations, and unfinished work. This mental overload reduces clarity and focus. Overcommitment is one of the biggest reasons for burnout. When your schedule is always full, you do not get time to relax or reflect. Your sleep may suffer. Your mood may become unstable. Small problems start feeling big. You become irritated easily. This is not because you are weak. It is because your mind needs balance. Continuous pressure without recovery damages emotional stability. Saying no creates breathing space in your life. It gives you time to think calmly and act wisely. Mental peace improves when commitments are realistic. When you accept only what you can handle properly, your performance improves. You complete tasks with better quality. You feel satisfied instead of overwhelmed. Stress often comes from the fear of disappointing others. But ignoring your limits to avoid disappointment creates deeper problems later. It is better to decline politely than to agree and fail due to overload. A calm and honest no prevents future tension. Mental health requires boundaries. Just like your body needs rest after physical work, your mind needs rest after mental effort. When you protect your schedule, you protect your emotional energy. This does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means choosing responsibility wisely. Balanced commitments lead to balanced thinking. Balanced thinking leads to better decisions. Saying no is not negative behavior. It is preventive care for your mind. When your mental health is strong, your productivity, relationships, and personal growth improve naturally. 4. Strengthens relationships through honest communication. Many people believe that saying no will damage relationships. They think refusal will create distance, conflict, or misunderstanding. Because of this fear, they say yes even when they do not truly agree. However, forced agreement does not create strong relationships. It creates hidden frustration. When you repeatedly ignore your own limits to keep others happy, resentment slowly builds inside you. That silent frustration eventually appears in your tone, behavior, or attitude. Over time, this can harm the relationship more than a polite refusal ever would. Healthy relationships are built on honesty and respect. When you say no clearly and calmly, you communicate your limits. This clarity removes confusion. It allows both sides to understand expectations. People cannot respect boundaries that are never expressed. When you communicate honestly, you create transparency. Transparency builds trust. It is important to remember that tone matters. Saying no does not require anger or harsh language. A simple and respectful response is enough. You do not need long explanations or excuses. Clear and confident communication shows maturity. Most reasonable people understand when someone has limits. In fact, they may respect you more for being honest. Strong relationships are not based on constant agreement. They are based on mutual understanding. When both sides feel free to express yes and no without fear, the connection becomes healthier. Saying no protects not only your peace but also the long-term stability of your relationships. 5. Supports discipline and long-term growth. Personal growth requires focus and discipline. If you say yes to every distraction, your progress becomes slow and inconsistent. Discipline means choosing what is important over what is immediately comfortable. Sometimes this requires refusing invitations, unnecessary tasks, or activities that do not support your goals. Many people lose momentum because they fear missing out or disappointing others. But growth demands sacrifice. You cannot build skills, improve your career, or develop strong habits if your time is constantly divided. Saying no helps you stay aligned with your priorities. It protects your long-term vision. Short-term approval feels good, but long-term achievement feels better. When you decline distractions, you create space for meaningful effort. This builds consistency. Consistency builds results. Results build confidence. Saying no is not negative behavior. It is a strategic decision. It shows that you are serious about your future. When you control your commitments, you control your direction. Success is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things regularly and with focus.